Your soft whispers all I hear. Even when the sky turns blue, I'm in waves of you. Even when the storm is wild, you're my calm, my child. Waves of you, they pull me in. Every ripple, every spin through the ocean, pure and true. I am lost in waves of you.
Hello everyone, we have 1 minute to the start of today's session. So if you are here early, feel free to grab some water and then we can start counting down for the start of the talk today. Thank you. Or if you can have some popcorn, bring some popcorns. All right, it's 2:30 in Singapore and most of the Asian world now. Hello everyone. Hi, Shimei. Wow, Shimei, good to see you. And I can see that there are already 22 people on the call now. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to our 5-wave marathon series on automatic leadership. Today, we are starting the very first wave on why leadership is so difficult. It sounds like a heavy topic, okay? So if you were here with us from the Kickstart session on Wednesday, please type 5 in the chat to do a high five with us. And hello, and Kat, welcome from Arizona. Cool. And Andy, hello. Well, and I guess we have a lot of new friends as well coming in. So today we are starting the very first talk of this very first wave by 2 esteemed speakers, Sugen Shi and Jacqueline Ong from the beautiful Singapore. If you're also based in Singapore, oh, hello, Selvi from Jakarta. If you're also based in Singapore, please type 65 in the chat. Let's see, who else is from Singapore as our speakers? Danny, Anne, and Teacher Sugen there. Tai Chi as well. So why 65? Why 65? That's the country code, yes, the country code of Singapore. So without spelling out where you are from, let's write down your country code, where you are. There's 66.5 million residents in Singapore? Really? Wow. Kim is from 84. Where's 84? Cat is 1. That I know. That's the United States. Where else? And mine is 886. Guess where? 886 is Taiwan. Yes. Good, Kai Chi. Wow. What other codes do we have? 84. Who knows 84? Vietnam. I see. Okay. So, yeah, sometimes our message, the message that we try to deliver in a talk, is so simple and clear, as simple as numbers. But it's just that sometimes people just don't get it. Even though very oftentimes we even mean well, but the message just doesn't get across. Okay, this is especially frustrating, and I'm sure a lot of people can feel it as much as I do, when we are trying to help them. That's why we ever try to speak to them, to communicate with them. Or when we are trying to say something important, or we may even be right. Kim says, I'm eating while listening. No worries. Okay, enjoy your lunch. Okay, so why is it? Why would this happen? It's just like it feels like when we are having something important to say, that people just don't listen. So if you have suffered from this as much as I do, be it at work or at home, please type 0 in the chat. Let's cry together. But we don't have to. Okay? Tad and Danny, I'm so sorry. We don't have to suffer. And this shouldn't happen because we know that there are also people that whenever or whatever they speak, they just naturally get heard, trusted, and even followed by others. Wouldn't it be nice to have that charisma of a leader that people would just like to listen to and even better follow? So why do some people get ignored like me? And even when they are correct, well, I'm not correct all the time, but I would also appreciate to be heard. Okay, so that's what we are going to explore today. Our very first talk is aimed to address this issue. Why people don't listen even when you are right. Okay, this is critical because we know that influence only begins when people are willing to listen, to trust, and open up to what you are saying. So today, we are going to invite 2 very influential speakers. The very first one, Sugan Shi from Singapore. Besides being the founder of various organizations, I should be sharing the slides. There we go. So I hope you can see it. So besides the founder of various organizations like DMO Wisdom and J Jewels, he's also a husband and the father of 3. So how does he make himself heard and also influence at work and at home? We can't wait to find out. And also for those of you who don't know Teacher Sugan, if you do, please type 1 in the chat to say hi to him, okay? Let's greet the speaker from the start. Let's see. And if you don't know him yet, please type 0. So for those of you, it looks like everybody knows Teacher Sugan already. Wow, that's how influential he is. Okay, so for those of you who are too shy to type 0, let me tell you, and you have to believe me, he's too knowledgeable and too much fun to not be heard. Okay, so without further ado, and before we hand over to Teacher Sugan, please be reminded to stay muted unless you are spoken to. If you feel like interacting with the speaker throughout the session, please type in the chat. And if you have any questions that you would like to ask, please just type it out in the chat, or at the end of the sharing today, we also have a QA time. So without further ado, let's hand over to Teacher Sugan. Thank you.
Now imagine walking into a room full of people. You speak their language. You wear their clothes. You copy their jokes. But you watch them slowly step away from you. You are surrounded by people, but you feel completely alone. For decades, that was my reality. I always felt that people don't want to be with me. I always felt that people would step away from me. Thank you, friends. Good afternoon. Thank you to our MC, Teacher Sharon. And thank you to SCIM, DCIG for letting me having this opportunity to share my experience. My name is Sugeng Shi. You have heard before. And I used to be a very different person from what you know. A lot of you know me. A lot of you know the current me, but you didn't know the original me when I was young. I grew up in Indonesia. My parents were very protective. During my time, what should I say? The uh, racism was kind of bad. As in, because of my face is really Chinese face, and the situation was not so good then. And because of that, my parents were very protective. I was not allowed to play with people outside. I was not allowed to join any events outside. So I was all the time in the house. And I didn't know better. I just thought that that was life. But because of that, I didn't have much social skill. I didn't know how to interact with people. I didn't know how to communicate with people. So I have always been pretty isolated. I used to feel the isolation. And yeah, that was me. Safe from the outside world, but isolated from the outside world. So I grew up feeling wanting to belong. I didn't have this belonging. And when I stepped out into the world, I was somebody looking for a door, but I didn't have the key. I went to school, I took part in the activities, but after all those things, I had to come back home. I was not even allowed to join people for some social time. So yeah, and I was really feeling alone and lonely, and I wanted to feel belong. I wanted to join a group. I wanted to belong to somewhere. And 35 years ago, I came to Singapore. I was alone, and I thought, all right, this is my time, to find something that I can belong to. But being a social recluse, or I don't know whether it's the correct term, somebody who is socially isolated, I also didn't know better. I was just telling my wife yesterday, you know, we didn't have, or rather in Indonesia, we didn't have library. In Singapore, there used to be a lot of library, but I only knew the only place that I only had one place to go, the bookshops. So I knew all the bookshops in Singapore then. And I like to stay in, I still remember this MPH in Dobby God, I used to stay there for the whole day looking through all the books to the extent that I even remember what books, where they put what books. And yeah, I didn't know about library too. And then I work in Singapore. I wanted to fit in fast. I look around and I thought I could just try to follow whatever people do, just say whatever people say. And, human in general, or rather spectacles, my eyes, I didn't have a good seat. So what I saw was all the bad things. So I copied all the negative habits, the way people speak, the way people scold, the way people say harsh words. And I thought I was good at those things. I memorized bad and dirty jokes. I learned sarcasm. I felt proud because I knew how to attack people with all those things. Because I thought that that was the way, to join them. And the more I do, the more I feel the distance from others. I still remember, I'm not shy to tell you that I used to join SDU. I don't know. How many of you know SDU in Singapore? Oh, Danny, not his head. SDU stands for Social Development Unit. But what was it for, You know too. Who is that? Oh, Kaiji, you know too. Oh, yes, dating service from Singapore government for the degree holder. Oh, gosh. So I even took part in SDU, and then we went, matchmaking by Singapore government. Oh, you were there, Danny. I didn't see you. And I went for a few events, and what did I find? People just don't listen to me. That was my experience. They had a karaoke session, so I went into the karaoke room. I speak the same language. I wear the same dressing, but people just don't want to talk to me. And then they had a outdoor event. I went to that event. People still don't talk to me. So I felt that, okay, maybe because I came from Indonesia, I didn't speak the language, but I spoke English, guys. So the more I use those bad negative speeches, the more I felt that I couldn't connect with people. People really didn't really want to listen to me. And until one day, I met the SID system, and then I learned the 10 virtues. And I realized, and then in the 10 virtues, there are 10. That's why it's called 10 virtues. And one of the virtues is to speak meaningfully. And I started to think, why does speaking meaningfully get to do with being accepted? And I went through a lot of analysis. By the way, I'm an engineer, so I analyze a lot. Analyze till you paralyze kind of thing. I think a lot. And all right, but one good thing about me, if I may say, is that I'm pretty obedient. I'm pretty obedient. So my parents will tell me, you go left, I go left. You go right, I go right. So when my teachers say, speak meaningfully, of course, I follow, right? I follow. It's not easy. I have to erase a lot of my bad collections of dirty bad jokes. I have to stop my mind from saying out whatever I have in mind because I'm so used to sarcasm. When people say something, I have a lot of things just to tell them sarcastically. So I have to learn to control myself. I have to control to shut up. I have to control only to say what is really meaningful. And that was not easy. That was not easy. But because one good thing that I have is I listen to my teachers. I really practice hard. I really try to follow what I have to do because I'm writing my book. So I need to speak meaningfully. I don't want to have the negative entry there. And slowly, I can see people start listening to me. And that was like kind of amazing. So when I was looking for companionship, when I was looking for people to listen to me, the more I tried, the more I failed. The more effort I put in, the further people go away from me. But now, after learning about speaking meaningfully, I didn't put my awareness at all to feel the belonging. I was not consciously putting in the effort to make people listen to me. But I suddenly realized that people started listening to me. I started feeling that people would want to associate with me. I started realizing that people are moving towards me. So that was really something that I found very unbelievable, because it works the other way around. It works the other way around, right? And then it was not until level 8 that I attended in the year 2017 about automatic leadership that I realized, oh, this is really the key. This was really something that is working behind me, behind what I'm doing now. And boy, am I so glad that I found into this system. But let me tell you, bad habits still difficult to get rid of. I'm not saying that I'm a perfect person now. I still have a lot of bad habits. Sometimes those sarcasms still come out from my mouth. I have another protection. It's my wife. So sometimes when those expletives, when those sarcasm came out, she will, if she's kind, she would whisper on my ear. If she was not feeling kind, she would just say it out. Come on, what are you saying? Oops. Yeah, but of course, being a human, I don't always listen to her. Sometimes I got upset. What? What are you saying? Oh gosh, it was so shameful when I forgot about all these things. So yeah, I think this is what I experienced, and I really feel that I really feel that I'm so lucky, and I really realized that my childhood, when I was lacking the opportunity to develop my social skill, probably was actually a training for me, so that I can really hold into my bad habit now. And my journey, when I came into the SIS system, and I started learning all these amazing systems, including just speaking meaningfully, really helped me to become a much better person I am today. So I think this is the first time I'm sharing about my childhood. Okay, so thank you very much for coming, and I hope it's useful. Now, I talk about talking too much bad things and causing me trouble. Do you believe that keeping quiet with the wrong way also will give you trouble? Okay, so I came from the angle of speaking too much bad things giving me trouble. But there's another angle. Keeping quiet with the wrong way also may give you trouble. And for that, we have the second speaker. But I just don't want to hand over to second speaker. I would like to hand over back to our MC, Teacher Sharon, first, right? Over to you.
Thank you, Teacher Sugan. Wow, I didn't expect to learn from your childhood so much. And actually, thank you for sharing your life story of how you grew from a kid in isolation, an isolated kid, to an influential speaker, like everybody knows and likes. Okay, so do you remember his secret for his transformation, everyone? What did he do to get himself out of isolation? speak meaningfully? And what did he quit? Let's be more specific. And thank you, Tong Yan. Or Yan Fang. He quit his sarcasm and jokes. Maybe that's something my husband, myself should pick up. Okay. All right. So what does speaking meaningfully mean to you? Okay, maybe we can take note and learn from the tip that teacher Sugen just provided with us. Okay, and then next, we are going to welcome our second speaker of the day, Teacher Jacqueline, also from Singapore. Teacher Jacqueline, as you have already met on Wednesday, if you came for the Kickstart session, she's a very successful coach and has many successful stories at work and at home when dealing with family, which is very difficult, as a lot of us have experienced. Okay, so regarding the topic today, like how come we are ignored even when we have something important to say, even when we are right? Let's see what Teacher Jacqueline can inspire us with her live examples. Thank you. Let's hand over to Teacher Jacqueline.
Thank you, Teacher Sharon, and thank you, Teacher Shugan. It's my pleasure here to share this topic because it touches me so much. I'll share with you my story later. But before I begin, I must first sincerely thank and acknowledge our Professor Shugan here. Do you know he's actually my professor when I'm doing this teacher teaching in level 8? He was my team professor and giving me all the feedback he can. So I'm learning a lot from him. And what most is I need to be very grateful is that his organization, DMO, trusted me to join his teachers team and then teach his team for DCIG levels. And my very first teaching was level 8 with DMO. What a coincidence, isn't it? So this title, level 8, listening, and then me, myself being a coach. Yeah, there's so many coincidences in this for me. And then now today I'm sharing this topic and I have my partner here, our dear teacher Shugan. So this is so amazing for me. I really like to thank DCIG for this level, our Professor Shugan, and Teacher Sharon Fan. I always enjoy her wisdom group whenever I am in DCIG level. So really, it's so fun for me to be here in DCIG and then now teaching this as well. So before I really start, I just want to know, what do you all think about leadership? Is it the title we have, the authority that we can put upon on other people? Give me a 111, you think so? A leader must have a title. A leader is someone that I have power with. What do y'all think? Power of seeds. Primers, I like that. What do y'all think? Do you think a leader must have title? Because we are leaders, right? We are leading teams. So if we don't have power, how to lead team, right? If you think so. Yeah, but very much to me, a leader is not just about title. It's not just about authority, right? Yeah, that's why we need automatic leadership. So that came DCIG for me, because I think as a leader, we must be made felt of. We must feel people. We must feel that we are hearing people. We felt that we are being heard, or we were trusted by people. If people don't trust you, honestly, what you say doesn't matter to them at all. Because when we want people to listen to us, first they need to trust you. Otherwise, why should they listen to you? So because of this, I have actually started my journey to create my own awareness, to know how I am being a leader. So before I begin, let me share slides, if I've not done so. So here, this is our topic today, right? And then let me just quickly introduce to you myself. I'm here speaking to you from my background, being in corporate for 23 years in supply chain, or if you think about it, manufacturing, warehouse, and delivery. That's my job for 23 years. And I've been a coach for 10 years. And thereafter, I am now enjoying my work with TCIG, teaching, and also forming my Wisdom Coach International. So that's very much me. Now, with my background, I still have this question and I still have this problem, but I'm not sure about you. Show me a one or raise your hand if you want to. How many of you have this situation where you have to repeat your advice or your words to someone and they still didn't hear you? You want to type me? Or Singaporean like to use the word yellow. Cat one, yes, me. Yellow, sugar, me. Yeah, I can feel you because that's exactly I am. And if you are a parent, I think you may be laughing this the loudest, right? How many times we have to repeat our instruction to our kids before they hear it, or do they really hear it? That's the question. So I feel you, and if you are a spouse or partner, maybe you're pretending you're not reacting because I have to repeat many times to my husband. And you are ignoring it, yeah, you may want to think twice. And leaders are thinking about certain team member right now. If you are leading a team, you may be having some team member in your mind. Basically, that's what's happening to me many years ago, and still, okay, I don't want to say this problem goes away, but I still have them, but I have to say much lesser. Because all of us understanding this feeling, right? You care about them, you want the best for them, your intention is good, but sometimes you think all this is helping them, but yet they are resisting us, or they avoid us, or they ignore our advice. And then sometimes, if you have young kids, they even shut down. I'm not sure if you feel that, because you say, it's for your own good, right? Then we start having things in our mind, why these people are so difficult? Why do I have to repeat myself? Why can't they just know what to do? Like, how I wish I know about automatic leadership much earlier. And honestly, after many years of going through all this, I understand this very deeply because that is where I was. Let me share with you, okay? I was, as said, in supply chain for 23 years. I thought I was a great leader. My approach to a leader is this. Foremost, that I'm so driven and I'm very committed with my work, so responsible. I even put on long hours and I had very high standard. I believe strongly in efficiency and results for my team. And honestly, I thought that was leadership. I need to know it. I need to be efficient. I need to have results. So if something is inefficient, I make sure I correct it. By the way, I'm an industrial engineer, supply chain. We need to improve our process all the time. So efficiency is so important. So if anything go wrong, I correct it. And if there's a better method, I insist on it. And if my team prepare presentation, they had to rehearse in front of me because I do not want any other country department or the director to come tell me, I don't know what your theme is talking about. I got to make sure my team has the standard. This is what I think leaders is. And again, I've been doing this. So honestly, sometimes my team, after their third rehearsal, I think they may be thinking they better get another job because their job is not supposed to rehearse in front of me, but is to fix problem. But I gotta make sure that they are perfect when they present, you see. So in our mind, what was me thinking, helping them to be successful, I may be pushing them very hard and thinking that that's what I can do for my team, maybe driving them away. So something very interesting in my office happened. There was a joke outside my office. Okay, the joke is this: check the weather. Is it a good time to speak to Jacqueline? I have actually a weather forecast, which is my assistant in front of my office. And then anyone who wants to see me, they will ask, is it a good day? Is it safe to go in? And that's a joke outside. And apparently, I didn't know they measure my mood through weather forecasts. And then they can have, say, stormy day, don't walk in. Or it's okay, it's safe today, you can go. And looking back, that joke reveals something painful, isn't it? Although I know my team respect me, but I did not know that they always feel emotionally unsafe with me. They have to check my weather first, right? At times, I thought silence meant respect, but today I realize silence can also mean fear. And became one of the biggest lessons to me in this life is that, although I had many years in corporate and I thought I do well with them, we are still friends, connecting back to all these people in my reunion. I find that many of these colleagues of mine, I did feel to connect them personally. So even though I think I was doing the best for them, but I can't connect that much with them. So that being said, I realized that, being asked about my weather wasn't really a good thing, because although I may be correct, but that's not enough. So that backfire, of course, you can tell. Then naturally, my good intention of keeping a good team is the goodness that I want for my team wasn't really the right thing as a leader. That's after many years of my own belief, right? So because naturally what I do when people come in is to fix things, correct them, improve them, manage them. Not fun, right? Not fun to have such a leader in front of you, isn't it? So even at home, because previously when I was working at a corporate, right, my time with my family was really not a lot. 50% of my time I travel. I was sometimes a weekend mom, right? So I had very short time with my family. And then thereby what I normally do is, again, in my over efficiency, right? So, those questions that I would ask my kids is, are you sure you want to do that? But actually, that question means differently. Because, are you sure? I'm doubting already. You want to do that? Means I'm not approving that, And if your kids know you, that's your message to them. Which to my kids, they say, that is, please do it my way. It is not that I'm really sure you are doing it. You really want that way? No. My son knew it. Is that, I really need them to do it my way. I don't have much time to be parenting, I thought, right? But my intention is good. Come on, parents. There's nothing, no one advice you want to give your kids is bad for the kids. All our words and advice for the kids are all good. It's all our good intention, right? Genuinely, to my team, I want to help them. Yeah, mommy know the best, right? Kek Ling. But over time, I noticed something. People become very careful around me. In meetings, some only gave safe answer. Some avoid disagreement. Then some agree quickly to what I said. But honestly, I did not understand why. Because to my perspective, I care and I am responsible and I was trying to help, right? Right not? I mean, that's all what we want to do. And as today's topic says, right, knowing the right thing, doing the good doesn't mean it's the right thing, because my biggest wake-up call came from my son. Because during one conversation, he described me as passive-aggressive. Honestly, hearing that shocked me because my intention was all good. But never did I see myself that way. Then he said something that stays with me until today. He says this, "Mom, you look like you are listening, but in the end, you still insisted your way." How many of you actually say such things? You had something in mind, you wanted to listen, and you think you are listening. But in fact, at the end, you still want it your way. That sentence pierced my heart. Because that painful part wasn't that he was wrong. The most painful part is that he was right. I was thinking I was listening. I was thinking it was the right thing to do to give them the best advice that I could. But the fact, how much am I listening? That wake-up call, which was good because it came in, therefore, with that awareness, then we can do something about it, isn't it? Because if you don't, you will never change. Think about it. If you don't see the problem, would you ever change? So we must really be very grateful to those people who showed us, some of those problems that we had, right? So in that moment, that I think I need to start to think about it, because to me, the relationship with my family is very important. So let's reflect how many conversations we have that we are truly listening. Not because we want to fix them, but really listening, okay? So this brings us back to the topic, right? To say why people stop listening to us. Let's look at, are we really listening? Is it because we listen so that we can prepare to give advice? Do we listen so that we can see that, we are defending, picking up points that is contradicting us, that we can actually give back our own opinion? Or are we waiting for our time to speak? Right? You're looking out for the next cue so that you're ready. I'm here, next speaker. Are we doing that? To be very honest, sometimes I did observe myself. Before the next person could finish their sentence, I was already jumping in. So let's do catch ourselves at those moments, because those in our system, we are saying we may not be planting good seeds. So come to the systems, then you probably know, if you have not in the seed system, to know what that is, because those are really the powerful, driven reasons for things that is not working our way. So, and the dangerous thing to me is this: our intention may be good, but our impact may be felt heavily by our audience, by the person that we speak to. Because to be very honest, I'm like Teacher Shugan, we are all the engineer, very analytical. So to me, it's just process logic. Sometimes I may not take it to heart how the other person felt. So because if you have the logical mind, we may miss some very slight details of someone's body language, tone, or their feeling. because we are not hearing that or seeing that. We are just thinking about what's next. Very common with engineers, okay? So, but human beings are all emotional animals. You know, we all feel emotions before logic. I do, although I say I'm very logical. Bet you, if it doesn't touch my feeling, I would probably switch off. So we are all very emotional person, but as an emotional person, putting in logical mind because we think that is correct. Many of my long belief in leadership tells me that leaders is about power, leaders is about doing the right thing. Therefore, I lead my leadership styles in the way I believe. Until in the journey of my son who tells me, in fact, I'm not listening. If you have ever experienced a leader not listening to you, give me a 111. How many times you hope your leaders listen to you too? That's, yeah, Kathleen, yes, Gitling, and right, sometimes we say, hey, you know, we want our leaders to also have that too. So to be very honest, it is not just leaders want to be listened, all of us want to be heard. So let's look at what next I have for you, okay? Because many a time I think why people are not listening to us is we do have judgment sin. We do want control. We dismiss some information. We give people some emotionally unsafe. So when that happens, people goes back to their own comfort zone. And then the comfort zone is then their heart is closed. They can never open their ears. So I realized that influential people are not necessarily the smartest in the room. These people actually do one thing correct. They make people feel safe. They make people comfort so people can open up to them to what they say. So yeah, the kindest people in the room is the smartest person in the room. I like that, Teacher Shugan. It is so true, not intellectually, but emotionally. So to be honest, before we could create trust, we really need to accept others' words when they speak first. So when they first ask emotionally, you may want to check yourself, am I safe with you? Right? When you want to really let go of anything, you really want to know whether what you're going to say next. Is it safe, especially when it's a problem? People will ask, do you understand me? Do you genuinely care about me? Especially in the corporate context for me, right? I thought I was genuinely caring for my team, but they don't feel safe. Why? Most of the time I went to correct them. Every ideas that came in, I had better ideas. So they, at the end, started to make some more reservation. So trust is being built before influence happen, okay? So let's think about that. Okay, so that's my experience, my problem that I've gone through. My son showing me that I am passive aggressive. So I did a breakthrough. Where my breakthrough came was actually, to be honest, before DCIG was my coaching journey. Because as a coach, we are being taught part of our competency was to active listen. Not through your ears alone, through our eyes, through our understanding, through our presence. Being present with our client fully and listening to them, not only with our ears, with our heart, with our eyes, That's being totally present with the audience. So that coaching competency helped me to ask better questions through listening, not interrupting. And when those say yes, doesn't mean they are fully along with you. Unless you discern it, unless you read them totally. So when I was a coach, I learned that. But honestly, my real breakthrough was when I learned DCIG level 8. That transformed my real communication techniques. Basically, when you want to have a deeper conversation with people, you must first open up yourself and be willing and be ready, and that is what you really want. If you don't have a goal of wanting it, and thinking of wanting it alone may not be enough. So when I came to DCIG level 8, I realized something very important. My intention was good, but I did not yet have the real power to move people. In our system, we call it seeds, right? The real power to me that move our days are actually our seeds. They run the daily show. Then I realized I may not have the real power to have people to listen to me. And after many years, I realized that I have a lot of homework to do because I have been doing the controller way. So I have many powerful seeds to stop me from listening to people. So when in DCIG, I realized my style was a controller versus a connector. DCIG showed me that a connector is whereby you will be heard, not when you want to control people from what you are speaking. Therefore, in these years of learning in DCIG, I feel that, you can push people, you can manage people, you can convince them, you can correct them, you can repeat yourself many, many times, that's my life for many years. Maybe not that you don't produce results, but we produce the results as a controller is a very hard work. Because for certain nitty-gritty actions that people do, you may want to make sure that it's in the correct position. So you become very so-called minute, trying to focus on the details. But a real leader then is more like what is the overall view, not just the minute detail. I miss those. I miss connecting with people. Although I felt that I was leading them, although because I thought I could be solving their problem, but I totally forgotten about connecting with my team. As a leader, they are a connector. When they are connector, they naturally attract, magnetize people to be around them. Why? Because people feel safe. They want to be with you. Why? Because they feel that they are being heard. And how many of you want others to listen to you? Right? Yeah, most of the time we all want people to listen to us, what we said. So we need to hear people what they are saying, not to forcefully ensure correcting them, not to say that the intention was good and then giving them all the advice you can. So I felt that my biggest gap when I learned level 8 was this. I am not a connector. I don't really naturally attract people to me because I was controlling. I was wanting it my way. And I like Shugan, when we had this, she says, yeah, your way or highway, right, in corporate world. Because I thought as a leader, I had the will to fire or will to move people. The performance appraiser is with me. I thought that was my power. I thought that was the one that's moving. Nah, it is wrong. It is not all those. It is really connecting with people that you really need to start moving them. So my inner states of observing my impatience with my team, my judgment of them being wrong or every idea that comes in, and then I want to control the outcome, my attachment of being correct all the time was all giving me the results to who I am. Externally, people are not connecting to me. They are feeling that I am actually not listening. So with VCIG, knowing that, what do I need to do? I really need to be calmer. I need to be more aware. I need to be more present. Presence in a sense that to be really there, listening to you, listening to the people that is speaking to me. So naturally, I got a lot of homework to do. So since 2022, I started to do that. Interestingly, I see myself stop trying to force people and influence them by my force. I start seeing results. And one of my results, you guys seen it on Wednesday when I launched, was when my dearest son agreed to be coached by me. Honestly, a coach and a client needs to have trust. Honestly, a coach and a client needs to make sure that we can be leading them and they trust me to do that. And that is not because I'm the smartest and I know all the answers. In fact, a coach don't have all the answers. The answers lies within the person. So with that was my biggest breakthrough. My transformation came in 2022 when I first learned level 8, and then again with Teacher Sugar in SCIM, then planted the seeds more when I teaches this level in DMO. So it took me years planting all the seeds to have my son agree to coach by me the year before in 2024. And that to me was my biggest transformation, not my son, but mine. It only demonstrates that I can hear better. I can give people an emotional, safer environment for them to open up to me. So that was my results. And the next results is because I understand being a leader is very challenging. Being a leader myself previously has done so many wrong way. I started to think I need to move this wisdom and help more people. And then not others is to set up this company with two beautiful partners who trusted me. And then we set up this called Wisdom Coaching International to bring this wisdom together with coaching competency and bring this along to help more people. So indeed, actually, communication is not just speaking well. Communication actually starts by listening to people, right? So if you think about that, think about how are you listening to people today? Because if people are not felt heard, even you have the most beautiful words at the tip of your tongue, they may not be heard. So that's why when I understand this, in my coaching syllabus, I make sure active listening is one of the core competency. In fact, we on the 24th April, past just a month ago, my companies had a talk about parenting talk, also about listening, about why children not listening to us. So we understand very much communication is all about listening. Therefore, we want to make sure that we can influence people, leadership, parenting, or coaching, or their business, or their marriage, or even teamwork. Starts with leadership skills, starts with listening skills. So because we strongly in my company, we believe in connections, connecting with people, right? So my two results, I hope you are inspired from my transformation. I can get my sons to allow me to coach, and I can set up a company to help more people, right? But not leaving you with just my story. I hope I can give you what is that 3 small changes I do. What's beautiful with this system is this: you don't have to really come up with long development plan or big development plan. Small changes. And that small changes help you create the power for you to have many people to listen to you. The small change I list here is first, listen to understand. Really listen first. Slow down. Really open your heart to listen. Not with the idea that you want to fix their problem. Okay? Really being present and listen to them. If you have any advice, right, learn to pause before correcting them. Because each time when they say and then you correct immediately, in fact, that's where my son came in. Are we trying to be passive aggressive? But in fact, when you build patience inside, trust comes in. Not all silence needs advice. Sometimes listen. They may just want you to hear them. They don't need the advice. Your very presence is the presence that you give them. So pause before you want to give any advice. Lastly, this is what we coach do. Ask before giving solution. As said, sometimes people just want you to listen. It's not about giving advice or solution immediately, right? So ask whether they really need the advice. My personal experience is, if there's any advice I would give, I may give it with my personal story. Just like what I have shared with you today, I open up with my story. The advice is really from my experience. Not that that's the best advice ever, because we all experience different emotions, different situation, right? So ask before whether they would like to hear your advice. Only when they are ready, you start to give them the advice, you will be more guaranteed you are being heard. So that's the 3 little thing I actually do. First, really, I stop, okay, across to my mouth. Don't speak first. Listen first. And before I want to jump up to any correction, I pause. I check the situation. And if I really feel like giving advice, I ask whether they really want the advice. So that's the 3 little thing. If you can today, take these slides if you want to, and reflect how the moment when you are listening to people, right? So that leads me to actually your moment right now, not my moment, your moment, your honest reflection. Put someone in mind right now. Have you had difficult conversation with them where you think they have stopped opening up to you? Or maybe someone that you have been speaking to them, but there's so much judgment in us that we have not opened up ourselves. Is there one person in your mind? If you have, it could be your child, your spouse, team member, client, anyone, right? Think about it. Check yourself. Do your own reflection. Do you feel, or do you give them a safe environment? Are they safe around you? Do they feel safe? I wasn't a safe person for my team, right? They have to check my weather first before they come. So think about it. Do they feel safe when they're around you? Next question you may want to think about is, When in the past, when you have conversation with them, when they are speaking to you, are you really fully present? That means you listen to them full-heartedly, without any judgment, without many more questions that you want to ask in your mind, but fully attentively giving them your time and your heart to listen to them. Do they feel heard? Right? So I hope you can do these reflections and think about your communication and your listening. The last question is this, which is go back to this topic today. Is it being correct more important than the relationship? This question to me is very important because I always think I'm correct. My correct more important than trying to connect with my team. That was me in the past. Because if I felt that I am more correct, it's more important. Think about it. How did the argument start? Never one argument start because you think you are wrong. If we quarrel with anyone or we debate with anybody, definitely because we think we are more right one. Otherwise, there's no point of debating, right? Or arguing. So to be very honest, awareness of your choices is important. Awareness of where you are. Maybe this small shift can help you. All right? So I hope you can take the slides for this as well. I did this and I think all of us need this little reflection. The next I had for you is this, which I thought, this beautiful picture, a bulldog and a cat. In Chinese saying, the cat and the dog always fight. But to me, this little video here shows such a serene of the little bulldog and this cat can be together. When they are together, it is because they feel safe. What if people did not merely hear your words, but genuinely trust your heart? What if your children feel safe telling you the truth? What if your staff felt safe bring ideas to you? What if your client, family, or your community felt understood instead of being corrected? How would your relationship change? How would your leadership change? How would your influence grow? Think about it. My very last slides before I send to our beautiful host today is this. Remember, connection is what makes people truly being listened. You want people to listen to you? A true leader is not about correct answer, but it's about creating connection. People may respect your knowledge, but they listen deeply when they feel respected by you. And I hope today, instead of us saying that why people not listening to me, we can ask ourselves, do people feel heard by me first? Because, connection is much more important. Create that relationship. And when you have the trust, naturally people listen to you. Thank you so much for having me today. Thank you, Kaiti, for the timing behind the scenes. She's giving me the tips. I know I have some time left, but leave it to Q&A then. To my beautiful host, Teacher Sharon.
Thank you, Teacher Jacqueline, for the beautiful sharing. I believe everybody is as inspired as I am now. So let's send the speakers today, Teacher Sugin and Teacher Jacqueline, a round of flowers and coffee in the chat to thank them for the inspirations. Okay, so actually, during Teacher Jacqueline's talk, In addition to the messages that we saw in the chat, there are also a few people, quite a number actually, writing and asking Teacher Sugan to be back because they didn't hear enough. So if you have any questions to Teacher Jacqueline or Teacher Sugan, please hold on to them. Okay, we have more sharing from Teacher Sugan coming up. So let's hand over to Teacher Sugan and seize the chance. He will only be with us for another 15 minutes. Okay, so over to you, Teacher Sugan.
All right, thank you. I have a confession. So I was just now when I was talking, I was looking at the clock, and then I keep on doing the calculation in my mind. I was confused with the way the clock runs, And then I look at the time and then I calculated, while you are talking, you are trying to do calculation. We always think that we can do multitask. We can multitask, but that is a wrong fact. That is not a fact. That is a myth. Okay. So you cannot do multitasking because I then came to the wrong conclusion. Oh gosh, my time is up. I need to stop now. So I really cut short and I quickly did a handover to MC. And then just now when Jacqueline was talking, teaching, I look at the clock. I started doing my calculation again. Oh, I think we are so early. What happened? Why were we so early? And I texted Sharon. How long did I talk just now? She told me 10 minutes. I said, what? When I was about to hand over, I thought I already covered 40 minutes. It felt like 40 minutes. And so what is the message here? What is the message here? When you are really engrossed in what you are really believe in, time can run very fast. Sometimes time can run also very slowly. To me, apparently, it was running a bit too slow. So here I am. I don't want to shortchange you. You have taken effort to come and then let me continue. All right. There are two more points that I want to discuss about listening. We want to have people listen to us, and a lot of times we forget to listen to others. I think Teacher Jacqueline has already covered that, right? So we don't really listen. While people are talking, we have a lot of thoughts running in our mind. We want to think about how to answer. We are thinking about, we have a lot of other emotions. Now, one very bad emotions is when people talking about things you don't like to hear, you don't like to listen. And that happened to me. Again, my story again. We were living with my parents, and then I mentioned just now, right? My parents would they would complain about my wife to me, and then my wife would complain about my parents to me. I think this is very normal if you are a normal person and living with your parents, right? That happened before we learned the seed system. So what happened to me? I didn't like all those things. And when we don't like what happened, we shut off. We shut off. Yes, in person, it seems that we are listening to them, but in our mind, we shut off. We don't want to hear anything. So I did that for quite a while. And I planted the seeds, obviously. And guess what? How did the seed open? The seeds opened in the form of my son, my eldest son, didn't want to listen to me. I thought it was a normal adolescence behavior. People say, oh yeah, they are teenagers. It's a normal for them to be rebellious, punny, to be rebellious. So when my son went into the secondary school, I told myself, okay, Sugang, get ready. Your son will be rebellious. And we say what the prophecy was right? So my son became rebellious. And I thought, okay, that is normal because he hit his teenage years. And then I tried to cope with that as a normal person until one day it went to an extent that really scared me off. So nowadays, I don't know. Nowadays, when I look at young people, they seem to grow very tall. They seem to grow very big. My son was the same. He was bigger than me. He was taller than me. And then one day, I forgot. I really forgot due to whatever reason. I spoke a bit harshly to him, and he was so angry. He turned back and he almost strangled my neck. In my mind, I said, okay, gosh, one day I may die in his hands. And I told my wife, your son, okay, better tell him, better teach him well. Otherwise, I will die one day in his hands. And that really scared me off. Oh, God, Sugeng, what happened to you? Why is this happening? And I was lucky because I started learning about the seed system. It was very new. I was still very new in the seed system. And then I started checking my seeds. I started checking what I have done. I started checking what seeds I've planted to deserve this. And I don't know why, but I found out that all those seeds were planted while my father was trying to talk to me. Remember my story? I used to work from home a lot. I used to work from home a lot because this son was very sick when he was young. And then my boss was so kind to me. He let me work from home and only had to go to office once a week, so that I don't lose contact and connections with the people who are there. So I used to work from home. So I'm so used to it. And then because I work from home, then my parents can just walk to me anytime they want to talk to me. And due to all those problems, I started to build a wall. Every time they come to me, I will pretend to be very busy. I will tell them, okay, I'm listening to you. Please tell me while I'm still focusing on the laptop, on the computer. So I realized, oh, this was the seed. This actually planted the seeds for me to see my son not wanting to listen to me. So after I realized this, I told you, right, I'm a very obedient person. My teachers say, if you find the seeds, then you should weaken them by doing 4 powers. So I did the 4 powers. And then in the last power, we need to do something reverse as the remedy, something reverse as the remedy. So what did I do? I told myself, anytime my parents or my father especially walk to me to talk to me, I have to stop whatever I'm doing and listen to him. So being an obedient person, I did that. So every time my father walked to me, I will stop everything. I will turn to him. Yes, Dad. I did that very, very consciously. You know what? Within 1 month, 30 days, my son changed. I didn't have to tell him anything. Even my wife also didn't have to do anything. Although I blame my wife not to teach my son better. Mother should be the one, right? I don't know. Because mother knows the best, Jacqueline. So we didn't do anything. My wife didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I just changed my behavior towards my father. Within 1 month, he changed. Before that, every time we talk to him, he only have 4 options in his answer, 4 variations. Yes, no, okay, later. Only 4 phrases. Do you want to eat? Yes. Do you want to bathe now? No. Are you done with the home? Shall we go out? Okay. Do you want to go out now? Later. Only four words. But after I changed my seats, suddenly he engaged me. Hey, Dad, look, I'm playing this game, and then I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I am doing this trap. So when the monster comes, it will fall down, this and that. And I asked him, so what did you do? Oh, yeah, I did this, I did that. Where did you learn? Oh, I learned from here, I learned from there. Well, you know how you feel? If Jacqueline was so happy when his son was agreed for her to coach him, I was so happy when my son started to engage me. Wow, that was the best feeling I had. That was the best feeling I had. I was like, oh gosh, in the past when I tried talking to him, he he only have 4 words. Now I didn't even have to say anything. He would come and he would call me over. Look, Dad, this is what I did. So I think this is one very good lessons that I learned. For people to listen to me, I need to start listening to them. Even until today, they are all adult. My eldest son is 28 now. 28 or 29, yeah. And then my youngest is 4 years younger. We are still like friends, good friends. Some of you who have come to my house, I think you know them. Yeah. And then we can also lie down together on the same bed. And then, just like the picture that Jacqueline showed, the bulldog and the cat. You have the picture. We can lie down on the bed with that kind of configuration. Being an engineer, configuration. Sorry for my language. Yeah, so that is the kind that I have been dreaming all along. Yeah, there's a one. We are sleeping like this. Yeah. They like especially the what do you call the armpit. They will lie on my armpit. So well, anyway, so that is one point that I want to share that I think very important is listen to others and especially listening to our parents or important persons in our life. Another point is about keeping quiet. Okay, I thought Jacqueline would talk about that angle, so that was my handover to her. But since she didn't really touch much about that, I'm going to add on this one. So I used to have a lot of sarcasm. I have a lot of comments in my mind that I was, like in the army, as a soldier, right? You already when enemy comes and then you already load your gun and your weapon ready to shoot. So when people are talking, I am loading my mind with all the sarcasm that I get ready to shoot. Shoot as in I thought I could make the situation better by commenting with sarcasm on people's speeches. And that was me. And it was not easy for me to learn to shut up. It was not easy at all. But I learned to really shut up. That's why a lot of you, I don't believe you have ever heard my sarcasm at all nowadays. But I have a lot of them in my mind still. I still have a lot of them. And I thought I was safe. Wow. Was I wrong? I was not safe. Although I didn't let go of all the sarcasm in my mind, but because of them occupying my mind, we plant seeds even through our own thoughts. So I planted a lot of bad seeds. All those meaningless thoughts in my mind actually gave me lots of trouble. So how did I overcome this? How did I change those into something more useful, I would say, instead of causing any trouble in my life? Right. By the way, I would like to comment Kading here, You are in Diamond Mountain, right? It's 1 a.m. Oh my goodness, you're still listening to us 1 a.m. in the morning. Oh gosh. All right. Wow, I've been wondering, were you in Asia? Oh, anyway, okay, let's continue. So what I learned is that and then this is a pickup from my wife, She always tell me, shut up, don't say them, don't let them out. and try to find the hidden messages. I said, oh yeah, that is so wise, right? So yeah, a new habit that I'm starting to develop is to turn all those sarcasm and negativity in my mind into a search for hidden messages. And what did I feel? What did I feel? What result did I get? I just feel that nowadays my seeds ripen very quickly, both good seeds and bad seeds. Good seeds ripen quickly. I'm very happy because I know it is working. Bad seeds ripen quickly. I'm also happy because I know those are weakened bad seeds. Weakened bad seeds. And yeah, I think this is not something that we learn directly in advanced in the level 8, but I think this is my experience, and I think you may want to try it, trying to find hidden messages in your mind when you have negative thoughts. I have lots of judgments. I have super rich collections of negative judgments on others. And it is something, it is not something I'm proud of, but it is something that I really need to work on. And I think the tips from my wife to find hidden messages is really useful. Or I should say she's an expert in this. Every time I have a judgment, every time I have a comment for somebody, she can quickly come back to me with the positive angle. Maybe that person is trying to do this. Maybe that person is trying to do that. On days when the weather is not so good, I will talk back. I have my own weather too. When the weather is not good, I will talk back. Yeah, what do you call that? Yeah, you wish that, right? Yeah, I wish for that too, but that might not be true. But now, after getting slightly wiser, I really like to always thank my wife for being so kind, to always be beside me, to remind me to find all the hidden messages. So yeah, this is the second point that I would like to share with all of you. So 3 points that I shared today. Earlier, I was talking about using the seed system to change my bad historical behavior to become a leader that people want to listen to. Second point is that before people want to listen to us, we need to start listening, especially to our fertile soils, people who have been helping us a lot, right? Like our parents. And this is in alignment with what Jacqueline also shared. And finally, turn your judgments, or this is what I'm doing. I'm learning to turn judgments in my mind into a search for hidden messages. So with that, I will end my sharing. I hope I didn't shortchange all of you. And back to you, our beautiful MC, Teacher Sharon.
Thank you, Teacher Sugan. And it's never enough to hear from you. Thank you for sharing with us. So it feels to me that listening to Teacher Jacqueline and Teacher Sugan is very much like standing on the shoulder of a giant, so that we can learn from the footsteps that they have taken. It would indeed be very beautiful if we could live in the what if image that Teacher Jacqueline just showed us, right? Where we feel trusted and listened to by making others feel safe and comfortable. The teachers today gave us a lot of practical tips from their experience. So if you like, please share your biggest takeaway in the chat. For me, Teacher Sugan showed us how speaking meaningfully and turning judgment into the search for hidden message could help get our message get across. Yes, we have to speak meaningfully. That's very important. And also very effective in making ourselves heard. Listen to understand. Thank you, Andy, for sharing. And Teacher Jacqueline, who is the boss of building connection and trust, assured us that we don't need to be the smartest in the room. Phew, that's a relief for me personally to be heard. Okay. We just need to be what? We don't need to be the smartest, but we need to be building the trust by being kind to people, by genuinely caring about them. Okay. So, as before giving advice, yes, right. Don't try to push your words through. Okay. So if you are tired of not being heard, and if the frustration and solutions that our speakers shared speak to you, maybe it's time for you to dig deeper into the solution that they tried and succeeded. DCIG Foundation Level 8 in Singapore, coming up in July, is where we go deeper into the hidden causes of leadership. And again, leadership is not just about how to lead. It's about building trust, like Teacher Jacqueline emphasized it. That's the reason why people naturally trust and follow certain leaders. And with that in mind, we have some more information for you. Let's just take a group photo first to mark the day. So if you can, please turn on your camera and let's smile.
Okay,
Again.
I will be taking the photo. So let's smile. Okay. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Wait, one page only, Hold on. Still got one more page, Hold on. Okay. Okay. Okay, wait, one more page. One more page. Okay. Wait, one more page. The other page, no paper. Okay, all on the camera, 1, 2, 3, cheese. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask our teachers today, please feel free to write in the chat now, or just turn on the mic and speak to the teachers directly. And before anyone speaks up, let me show you the schedule for our upcoming talks. Oh, by the way, like we were saying, if you feel like you would like to go deeper in the concepts that the teachers shared, please scan the QR code. I think you can take a screenshot of this page and save your date to attend this automatic leadership class coming up in July in Singapore. And next week, we have more talks on leadership coming up for you. Monday, the 25th, we are going to see, are leaders born or created? But to be honest, if leaders are only born, then I'm hopeless. So I'm looking forward to what the teachers have to help someone like me out of frustration. Okay, meaning if I'm not a born leader, what can I do to become one? All right. So let's see, there's no question yet. All right, so to summarize, okay, today we touched on one small part of automatic leadership. It's just a small part. There are more frustrations that people go through in their leadership journey. So please stay tuned and look forward to more talks from their personal experiences from our teachers from around the world. All right. So if there's no more questions, then let's see if Teacher Jacqueline or Teacher Sugan have anything to add. Teacher Jacqueline?
Yeah, not really, but I really hope you enjoy this show. This is only the first series. Really come join us for the next 19 one, because plenty more to actually pick up. Yeah, look forward to you guys coming back.
Thank you, Teacher Jacqueline. Yes, indeed. Remember, we are having this marathon of 5-wave talk series, all right? So looking forward to seeing you more. And Teacher Sugan, would you like to say something?
Yeah, I would like to say that although the title is on leadership and a little bit on the creativity, but in my personal belief, anytime teacher Geshe Michael is teaching, maybe the topic is the same, but he will always have something new, and you should not miss this opportunity. He has not been coming to Southeast Asia. The last was in 2019. So after a gap of 7 years, he's coming back again. So let's quickly grab the opportunity to come and meet him in person. It feels very different compared to when you see him on Zoom. I know he was in Taiwan a few years ago when our MC got the marriage blessing, but coming to Singapore, coming to Malaysia, this is really a very different feeling. So let's make use of this opportunity, bring a lot of friends, family, relative to come together. Looking forward to seeing all of you in person.
That will be fantastic. Seeing people online and seeing them in person. We can imagine like thinking of eating an ice cream and actually eating the ice cream itself. It feels totally different, right? So looking forward to seeing you all in Singapore. But before that, please start making a plan on how to put the tips that the two teachers share with us into practice. That's how we really make a difference in our lives. All right, so thank you for coming, everyone. See you on Monday.
Thank you.
And thank you for the IT support, Kai Chi, and also Danny. Thank you.
And also thank you to the MC.
Thank you, teacher. Thank you, MC.